Now the final part of my presentation about the sigils. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time to speak about many others. I'm trying to put everything inside of 2, maximum 3 hours of talking, but taking consideration my English and everything, I think we have enough possibility to talk, and later to with you to see your own thinking and maybe your own methods of how you are doing all this. For the beginning of the end of this presentation, I always like to talk about the difference between symbols and sigils. It is like cowboys and Indians in a play of children. Somebody wants to be Indian, somebody wants to be cowboy, and somebody wants to be policeman, and somebody wants to be criminal. Always 2 different type of consciousness, which demands a different kind of strategy. I always like to talk about the difference between these 2 in the story of Daedalus and Icarus. Now, I will not tell you the story, because taking concerning my English, we will need a lot of time to tell you the myth of Daedalus and Icarus. I suppose and hope you are familiar with that Greek myth. If you are not capable to know what it is, then the magic it's not for you. It is so good and fortunate story that we need to achieve to that idea in a little bit different kind of perspective. Now, we know that Icarus died and that Daedalus survive and escape from the labyrinth. But who is the witness of the whole happening? Icarus' body never recovered, as he fall from the ultimate heights of the sky. He fall into Aegean Sea, and Daedalus returned to the continent with great sorrow, as he is the only one who know what happened or what he saw it happened. Symbol, it's Daedalus. Straight, normal, smart way of doing things, rational doing things. Icarus is the one who went toward the path of the sun. And in Daedalus' way, when Icarus reached so much high that his wings start to melt, Icarus felt. But if our ego and consciousness way, normal way of thinking, which is in fact the main failure for materialization of our desires, then Icarus really break the point of no return, and Daedalus saw only what he was able to use as an excuse not to go to the path of the light. It is the path of Sigil, direct, without so much meaning, without so much rules, without time, without sacrifice, without meaning. Because if Daedalus saw Icarus arrive on the sun, Daedalus' life will not have meaning as it has before that. It is what Daedalus really saw, but we can just think what was real destiny of Icar. if Icar really reached the sun, Daedalus will saw something differently, because above that line, his limited leg ego wasn't able to see the truth of coming to the sun. So his ego projected happening like Rashomon's story that Icarus felt and died, because ego cannot accept the truth that somebody else can do it something better than you, to be somebody who is most fearless, more courageable than you. This is Sigil, direct, without tactization, without strategy, directly on opponent. Usually that so much struck opponent that in practical way the smaller army get war regarding the better and greater army, because the greater army is usually the army who don't have enthusiasm, don't have body muscle anymore. They're used to get wars because they have billions of people. But when you have only 300 Spartans ready to die for their cause, there can be a miracle. This kind of miracle, it's the Sigil. Now the practical meaning. For this exercise, I want you to forget for now about the sigil. I want you to return before sigilization, when you manifesting your desires in your sentence. Remember, we don't want outcome. We want pleasure for the outcome. We don't want a new car. We want enjoyment that we are driving our new car, which is completely different destiny and different outcome, yet the same motive. So, when you're speaking that you are enjoyment, that I don't know in English the present tense, but you are enjoying driving your new car. As soon as you speak that aloud, second after, there is a counter-strike thought from your ego telling you that this is not true. You feel something in your chest or in your mind. Sometimes you will get a scratch on your nose or some body movement, some tics, neurotical movements, which it is echo of your unrealistic desire. It is provoke from your selfhood, that your ego will start to wake you up from a dream, telling you, no, this is not real, you're dreaming, Dushan, wake up. As soon as I'm starting to repeat my sentence, I will see very, very small, very shy echo of my ego reacting to the first desire. You must sense and see what it is. Just close your eyes and say something which is totally not true. Say, I am a perfect sex lover. Now I feel something on my neck, something which is not pleasant to me. This is reaction toward unrealistic thought. Whatever I say, you need to see the mechanism, and everybody has similar mechanism. Mine, I always sense in my stomach, in upper part of stomach, something very strange, and that sense was in my childhood whenever I need to go to school, when my mother or father say me, hurry up, you need to go to school, I sense this kind of unpleasantness. So it will be my mechanism of crushing, eating desires. You need to see what is yours. Each time can be different, but usually it is the same kind of behavior, neurotical, unconsciousness behavior. Usually some pressure, tension in your subtle emotional body, something which is pressing you, something even you don't need to know what is concretely, but you need to sense that unrealistic state inside you. Now, we will use this for manifestation of your desire. We will not use your desire. We will crush counter attacks of your own nature rising when you manifestate your desire. We are killing all traitors in our mafia family, something like this. So just stay, think about your sigilization sentence, speak aloud, don't in yourself but aloud, and you will see a moment, second or moment and a half after, you will sense something, some disturbance. Now grasp that disturbance and you will do one little trick. You need for that disturbance, however it's small, unrealistic, maybe it is just a thought, it's totally irrelevant. It is relevant that you need to put it there in your mind. Even if it is false, you need to feel that falseness. Even if you are pretending to have it, you need to be pretending about something, some emotions, some thoughts which is counter-striking your desire. Now, imagine it is on some color. Which color it will be? Green, blue, black, or purple, or pink? I don't know. You need to see which color is the best. If you don't know, then give randomly. You need to give it. You need to know that this color is resembling that unpleasantness which is counter-striking your wish. Then, what smell it is? Try to smell it. And after a second or two, you will sense something which can be a sign as a smell. You need to put this sensation alive with the senses, not only one, but few. Now, when you have a little bit more concrete feeling about this sentence, you will use one fantastic trick. Suppose it is purple, dark purple sense of with earth smell, rotten smell inside of your stomach. You will need to breathe, start to inhale, imagining that this dark purple color with unpleasantness, and you need to feel it concretely in your body, whenever it is, it's starting to fill up. Like your lungs are full with the oxygen, now this feeling is starting to grow like in balloon. And if you take purple balloon and you start to fill it with the air, what will happen with the color? It will become more pale, more light. The purple will be less and less purple the bigger and bigger the balloon is. You need now to breathe this feeling with more and more concreteness, because it will lose capacity and the essence by growing, enlarging to the edge of the universe, while you are going until the edge of your lungs. You need to reach the level that you simply cannot breathe anymore. And your counter-strike, which will destroy your wish, will be so rare and so light that it needs only one little thing to pop and to disappear. And you will do the final thing. You will start to just have an ounce, an micrometer of breath more, so the balloon will pop. And after, you will reach an emptiness, because nothing will remain. Now, when you say your desire, you will see that counter-strike, it's a much less and much weaker. But you are doing again the same process until when you finally say, I am enjoying and I feel enjoyment in my new car, there will be no counter-reaction. And in that way, when you reach that point, you need to move your head and your sight to look on your sigil. Not before. Usually put a sigil maybe behind your back, because during this exercise you need not to work on the sigil, but on the counter-strike thought, which killing your desire. It's like the father when you want to told him that you are thinking to change the job. What your father will told you? You are not worth it. You will do the same mistake like your whole life. You are stupid as your mother. You see the patterns of counter-striking your desire. It is from our childhood, and it is very strong. By breathing, you are giving, and you are deliberately make it so big that eventually it will cease to exist. You are giving it exactly the opposite of what it needs. You are not giving the crushing, you are giving the more strength, enlarging unpleasantness so much that it will be so rare, in the end it will simply disappear. In that emptiness, it is like cut, copy and paste of reality. It will be emptiness. The information about desire need to be filled with new kind of emotion. And you will look and copy and paste sigil instead of your counter-strike. One of the perfect method in magic, which I called the alchemy of the mind. It is not a ritual. You are not using any sigils, prayers, meditation. You're just playing with the scenery of your mind. Cut, copy and pasting things in your mental structures, using it as program, as application. This is so remarkably well that you can use it without sigils. You can just say something which you want to achieve. I am brave. I felt something even on the top of the nose. Concentrate on that. Try to enlarge this itching of the nose so much that all the noses in the world is itching. So much itching that it stops to become itching, so much big that when you finally breathe, that balloon will pop. It will now be more space for breathing, and it will pop, and everything will disappear. And you will be stunned that in that emptiness, there will not be possibility for you not to be brave. Usually in the beginning, you need a couple of breathing. Each time it will be more lighter and weaker. But even if you felt a little bit kind of discomfort, you need to destroy this discomfort by pooping and disappearing like balloon when pooped. Play with this. It might give you things that you will be stunned how much your life can change, because the patterns of our minds are simple mechanisms which are just perceived as complicated because we are Daedalus who are looking at Icar, trying to make complicated excuses for his bravery to go to the sun, even for the price of death. Daedalus will never experience the flight of the Icar. Even if he survived, he will never achieve the heights of Icarus. Think about that. The other things which you can use for sigils, which are perfect, is in lucid dream. Now, lucid dreaming is so wide subject. I recorded in the YouTube webinar which lasts, I don't know, maybe 10 hours. It is much complicated topic, so I don't have time to speak about how to achieve it. But once you achieve it, when you watch, and you can read from my blog everything step by step using Google Translate, not my English, so it will be much easier for you. There is a special place which I'm calling time post office. In lucid dream, you need to prepare the dream in advance, and you will learn that when you project a dream thinking about what you want to project, you will project later when you dream upon. The dream is constructed before the dream, so you will just remembering about what you wanted to project once you find yourself in a dream will instantly give you scenario that you projected in the first place. So if you want to go to that time office, what I'm calling in my dream, when you remember that in a dream, you can visit and your whole dream will become time office. What is time office? Time office is post office, which is 200 years before. Now, the peoples from there have, the outfit and everything. And when I go to there, I go to the shelter with the people who are working there, wanting to put something in my safe, bank safe. Because in my lucid dream, I have contract with that bank, and usually they get me in the basement when I have my safe. I open it and I put envelope with my sigil. I close it. I say goodbye to the professional security. I go to the first floor and I leave completely lucid dreaming, returning to this reality. I live couple of days, weeks, passing without thinking. And after 2 weeks, usually, I repeat the lucid dream. going into the same post office, but today, 200 years after, to pick up what 200 years old Dushan left for me, to stay in the same place. I open that safe, I took the envelope, it became yellow and because of the rotten paper and so much time. And I hold it and I'm trying to watch it as my dream collapse. Dream will always collapse, lucid dream, when you fix in one place without moving the eyesight. One of the most crucial laws of lucid dream. Because in lucid dream you always need to have movement. Movement of the body, movement of your thought. Without ideas, the lucid dream will cease to exist. You always need to go somewhere, to have a plan, to do something. The third movement is the movement of the eyes. If the eyes stays in one place even for 2 seconds, dream will start to collapse. That is because our eyes in the dreaming state always move, and that the name of that state is called rapid eyes movement. So literally, if we stop with our sight in a lucid dream, it will start to fade out and we will be awakened without interruption. Now, in this method, you will use it watching your envelope with your sigil as everything collapses and you return to your awakefulness. As soon as you awake, you go and open the chest, open the table when your sigil is, and you just look upon it and return. What is happening? For your mind, you are using one object which will be the same in the lucid and dream reality and this reality. There is only one object who is familiar in both worlds, and that is the dreamer. Only you are one the same who are dreaming and one who will be awakening. Everything else will simply not fit together. Occurrence, even the house in the dream, will be always a little bit different. You will see the light switches or the doors sometimes in a totally different kind and part of a wall. But in this way, you will tell your mind that it is a bug. It is an error in the program. You use something from a dream and keep it in the real world. And your mind will simply refuse to address that sigil as unrealistic. And he will just, like policemen, say, okay, you can pass, you have a green light. Green light toward a realization. Now, don't make a mistake looking at your sigil all the time. You are looking only once after you return for a lucid dream. After that, there is no more looking, because repetition of thing will be alarm to your ego that this is something which is not secure. You need to look only once when you return from your lucid dream without interruption, and you must destroy lucid dream by watching and fixating the envelope which you are returning from your time post office. This is something which I invent as a kid, and mostly all things that in my childhood I wanted to fulfill, I fulfilled. Now, watch yourself. Sometimes one wish can be manifested, but eventually something other will come with that wish, some other problems. How much you will be Icarus, ready to fulfill that light without, even if the price was death. The question for you is, are you really able to use the means, all the means, for your goal, no matter how much, sometimes sacrifice, and different outcomes can happen for the price of your desire? If the answer is yes, then you should do it. If you have struggling, then you need to do a little bit more psychotherapy about what you really want. Sometimes if you want a car, it's not the car that you want. Maybe you want to people treat you better. So your limited mind thinks if you show to your neighbor with a new car, they will start to respect you more. If you show with the money, maybe some girl will start to respect you and love you more. Of course not. You need to first realize the difference between desires and urge. You need to see what you really want. And in the end, are you really deserving what you will get? That is a real question. I do sigil magic, and a couple of times I manifested everything like in charm, but later I had problems. Last time I used sigil for, girls and everything, and I meet my wife now. So you need to take care what you wish and be very smart about it. So that will be my seeing of how sigil magic and sigil working should be done, and in my case what I'm doing. Of course there is a lots of other tricks, but surely we don't have a time. I tried to talk about you what sigil is not, what the mechanism of the mind is, and what is the practical meaning of usage, how differently you can approach the whole problematic and use it for good. If you have some questions, if you have some, issues, or if you want to share some experience that you have with us, then now it's the right time. Great. So, try this, but please don't try today. Leave a couple of days, so eventually you will forget about it. Later, in a couple of days, you can do it, and you will do it because you can. See you maybe next time. Usually my webinars you can follow and you can watch on my Facebook page or my blog and everything. I think next webinar it's something in September, I don't remember. It will be about Tantra and sexual magic, and I see a lot of people joining in because of the subject. But it will be perfect together with sigil magic, because these two things get pretty well together. So if you try to realize this concept, the sexual magic will be perfect, a next step for going deeper into the subject. Thank you very much for your time and your attention. I hope you understand me well, and for those who didn't have possibility to observe everything, I'm recording everything, and usually in the couple of hours or next day I will put everything on the YouTube, so you can watch. I need to lower the quality of the recordings because my computer is not so much good. So the YouTube upload time will be will be normal. Last time I need to upload one part for 20 hours and I have 20 parts. So I need to lower the quality because you don't need this for professional use, just for information. Have a good Sunday. Always nice to see you again in this number, and maybe next time we will talk about something else. See you in September for those who are interested in sex magic. For those who are not, you have my email usually and the contact, so we can continue to chat and to speak. Nice to see you, and wish everything good for you. Stay well, stay safe. Again, we have COVID and same shit, but let us use it in positive way like this so we can talk more. Okay, bye.